Okie dokes. So once we have like a Google Doc list compiled, we need to start thinking about what you want your menu to look like. So I have some ones from the past here just to give you some ideas of like size and orientation and things like that. We are required to use both sides. So some students just go the route of like your standard printer paper size. I think this kid did the same idea, like a logo on the front with some contact info and some of their foods on the back. Again, this person had more room. They broke it down into appetizers, main dish, and they did bubble tea. That's cool. Let's try and find a little bit of a different. Oh, this was nice because it's horizontal. Mixes it up a little bit. And this kid definitely did more than 10 items, and that worked out too. This was a really nice one. It's just printed on 2 pieces of paper. So they went more of the square route. And what was cool is that she wanted this like supernatural kind of organic feel. So this was a photo of like the cardboard, and she used that as her background, but she drew everything else, which was really nice. So those are really nice options. This was, you can kind of go custom with your size too. Like this is clearly smaller than your printer paper. And then she kind of rotated it like this on the back. Added some images as well too, which was cool. Some people like to do it. You could do it something that folded. I had a girl who did that last year. I don't know if I have the folded version on me. Yeah, and this was actually before Pliables was like a big thing. This one is like more than 5 years old. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways you can approach the size. I'm leaving that pretty much up to you. As long as it fits on like a printer size piece of paper, or you can go smaller. Like I said, I'm fine with either of those. It's up to you how you want to approach it. If let's say you're like, I'm gonna make my menu like a little smaller, you could take a ruler and just say like, oh, I'm gonna make it like 7 inches. We could use the paper cutter and just sort of cut into the point we want. And we'll pretend I cut that piece off just so it's out of our way. So you may say like, I want my menu to be, I'll make it horizontal, a little different. So you have to decide how you're going to use both sides. A lot of people tend to put like a cover on one side and then put all their detail on the other. So the thing I do want you to put a lot of time into is like what you want the logo of your restaurant to look like. Like I said, if you want to use an existing restaurant like Dante's in Leonia, you want to do Cheesecake Factory, that's fine, but you just can't use their logo. So whatever your logo may be, think about how it's going to occupy your whole paper. So since I said cheesecake, I started thinking about pie. Let's pretend got this kind of pie crust effect here. Maybe that's going to be part of my logo. I'm just coming up with different stuff, just kind of winging it here. So just trying to do it real fast. So I want like an image, and I'm going to put some kind of text with it. So what would be a good name for a pie place? Pie compound? Okay, let's do that. Of course, you're going to figure out more what your font is going to be. I'm not wild about this one off the top of my head, but we're just going to try and get it done real fast. Guys, can we quiet down, please? Thank you. All right, so we'll say I finish my logo. What else is important? So perhaps to reiterate where the place is located or how you could contact these people, what would be some other information that you could possibly include on one side of your menu? What are some good contact information on your menu? Phone, address. You could put social media icons, things like that. I didn't leave a lot of room on here, and obviously I didn't center it, which I'm not wild about, but perhaps I'm going to put my address down here. Shadow's kind of killing us there. Maybe I'm going to put a phone number here. Maybe a website, socials, something like that. So I have ways people could contact me, which is good. Do I have a ton of dead empty space? Do you feel like there's more empty space than filled space? No, so that's good. I definitely want to have most of my paper occupied, which is good. But I don't want every spec filled because that can be overwhelming to us. So we'll call this like the back of my menu here. And we'll pretend I cut that little excess paper off and flip this guy over. So now I have to think about how to organize my menu. What I want you to do, like, I'm not looking for you to write out every item that's going on your menu. Not interested in that. I want you to think about how to group it together. I'm going to do it in pen so you can see it, but I may make a mistake, just FYI. So if I have a pie place, think about the categories. I'm going to have drinks, maybe I'll have pie, and maybe I'll put like little things to go with the pie. Like maybe people want like whipped cream or something on the side. So let's say I have 3 categories. So which one of those categories are going to make people the most money if I worked at a restaurant? The drinks, the pie, or like the side dishes? What are the most expensive? The pies, exactly. So I'm going to put my pies generally first, unless it's like maybe an appetizer because you start with those first. Think about like the order of them. The drinks are usually not important because they're not so expensive, so I'd put those at the end. So think about how you're going to organize it. Maybe I'm going to do a list of my pies here. You could just draw like a box. And maybe I'll have 2 columns worth of pie. Yep. Yeah, I have no problem if you want to hold this. So I totally no preference. Yeah, that's why this part's up to you. I just thought I'd do something different by keeping it horizontal. So I'm going to have my list of pies here. I'll do pies, continue. Okay. And then I'm going to leave a space here for, I guess I'll put some kind of toppings. I can't really think of much else besides whipped cream at the moment, but that's okay. And I'll keep another category here for drinks. So they're a lot smaller because they're not really the money makers. Now, think about if I'm going to have 10 pies, I got to think about how I'm going to divide it. So here's what I'm looking for. Maybe you're going to make a box. I'll do like 5 boxes here to show me how I'm going to space out my pie. Okay. And I'm not going to put all the details. I know they have like nice wording and all that fun stuff, but I'll put here like cherry pie. And then I could just do some lines for the description. Blueberry. What other information do you think people want to know besides the name of it, the description? What else is important?
Calorie count.
If you want to do calorie count, I'm cool with that. What else could be important? That's probably in the description here. What about monetary? What are you thinking? Like the price. So we think about money. So think about where you're going to put the price. Like, yeah, maybe I'll put it like, I'll leave it over here and I'll do like, $6, whatever it's going to be. So again, I'm not giving you a ton of content, but I want to know how everything's going to be set up. Okay. And then when I get to like my toppings, probably don't need as much information there. If I just say like whipped cream, that's enough. So I can do the description and maybe like a little price there. So like I said, don't need all the fine print. Just give me an idea of what like the title of the item is, and I would be happy with that. Okay. Same with my drinks. Probably don't need a ton of information. Probably don't need a description for a lot of those either. Okay. So when I'm looking for a sketch, very little content. Pretty much just a list of your items and showing me how much space you're going to use up to place them and where like your description and where your price will go basically. So when it comes to this sketch, this is about 2 days worth of work. And then after we make sure we're happy with these, they're cleaned up, I could scan them in, or you could even just draw with your tablet. If you just want to like draw it and trace it out, I'm fine with that too. If you even want to sketch this in Illustrator rather than doing it on paper, I'm fine with that too. And that should be our plan so far. Okay. Do you have any questions so far about the process? Anything else coming to mind that we should clear up? All right, cool. I think we are good. I'll start handing out the paper in a few minutes too.